By default, SOLIDWORKS has 3 planes built in, the front, the top, and the right. But we may also need other reference planes or axes or points to use to create our geometry. And we can do that by coming into the reference geometries and choosing out an option here. The first we'll start with is the point. You can create point references in quite a few different ways here. I can choose a face, and it's going to populate a point at the center of that face. I can choose an edge, and that'll place it at the center of an arc. We can also choose the intersection between two lines. That'll place a point as well. There's a projection option. If you choose a point and a plane, it's going to project that point normal down to that plane. And lastly, you can create it from a distance on a line. So we can set this off by, say, 0.2 inches from the edge and create multiple instances of the points there. Next is the axis tool. If we come in, you can choose to create an axis on an existing line. You can choose out 2 planes as well. So if we chose the front plane and the top plane, for example, it's going to create that axis. And you can choose 2 points and draw an axis through those. And you can also create it by choosing a cylindrical face or choosing a face or plane and a point. And that'll draw the axis normal through the plane into the point. Next, there's the plane tool. And this can be created in quite a few ways. I won't cover all of them here, but there are quite a few. If I choose the 2 opposing faces, it'll create a midplane by default. If you select a plane and control drag from one of those resize points, you can create a plane at a distance. If I clicked on another point, we can create a parallel plane coincident to that point. If you choose a plane and an axis or an edge, you can create a plane at an angle. And you'll notice this follows both the angle of the axis and the new angle we add in. If we wanted this to rotate only in a single direction, we can choose the axis 3 here, which is parallel, and choose the angle like that. And we could also choose out 3 points if we wanted to create a plane. Lastly, there's an option for creating a coordinate system. And this can be used for several different things, simulation studies, as well as table-driven patterns, and quite a few other features. For this, you would select a point for that coordinate system to refer to. And by default, you can see that the directions are all in the same directions as the default. But you can then choose out different axes as the directions and create the coordinate system that way. You could also sketch out your coordinate system in a 3D sketch and then select out each line in that manner. But you can see that there are quite a few different ways to create reference geometries. And these reference geometries can be quite useful for creating geometry in directions that are not necessarily normal or parallel to the default sketch planes.